Okay, so let me go ahead and start from the beginning here. Again, I've got a folder here with called Pano on mine, and I have in there the, looks like 7 pictures. And let's go ahead and look at these individually first. And let's open them with preview. Okay, so this is going to be something like your guys's. So we got 7 photos from left to right. Okay, so something like everybody has in here, right? Left to right photos. So just make sure, the trick is just make sure you have one folder with all your panoramic images in it, nothing else in the folder. Then what you want to do is, in our Panoramic lab, there's a link to a service that we're going to be using called dermander.com, which is Create Panoramic. It's this one right here, this first link. I'll go ahead and click on that, open it in a new tab. And I'll show you how to do it first. It's very simple, by the way. They do have an iPad app for it, an iPhone app, but we're going to use this button here that just says Create Panorama. And again, I'm going to do it first. You guys just watch, and then you'll do it. It's really easy. It's easier in Photoshop, actually. So I'm going to click Create Your Panorama. There's 2 options it'll give you. One is a 3D or 360, and the other is a wide angle. We want to choose the wide angle, because we didn't do a 360, we just did a wide angle. And then, now if you did a 360, you could do a 360 on that one, it would work. So I'm going to go to my desktop and the panel folder, select all the pictures. And my button is hidden down here, so let me get rid of my, turn on my dock, there you go. Click on Open. It's going to now process all of those images, and here in just a second, we'll be able to panoramic it on the website, and also be able to download it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this button here, which will let me go to full screen, and then I can actually go left and right this way on the image, on that panoramic to see it. But it's hard to see it because it's, so wide, you can't hardly see it all. So they've got this feature here called Save Large Image to Disk. I'm going to click on that. Now here's where we'll be able to see the entire panoramic from left to right. And then I'm going to click Save As. I'm going to go outside of that folder, and I'm going to click on, I'm just going to type in, let me go ahead and type in my last name and then Pano, the word Pano. Click Save. Now let's go to my desktop and double click on that file to see what it looks like. There it is right here. And there's a panoramic. And I don't want it to go that right there in the middle there. Let's go and turn the light off real quick. So that's a panoramic, and much quicker actually than the Photoshop version of doing a stitching. This will stitch it for you, and done in literally click a button, upload pictures, render. So 3 steps from start to finish. And this is, I think, what this have 7 images in it? Is that right? Was that right? 7 images? So 7 images from left to right. You can't, no lines. In fact, excuse me, what I do like about the website service is it does blow it up really high for you, but you'll notice here there's no breaks in the image from left to right. So great panoramic. So that's it, how to do it. So what you'll do basically is repeat what I just did, and if you have more than one set, just rename it differently. So it'll be like, if I had 3 sets, it'd be Conco Pano 1, Conco Pano 2, Conco Pano 3, and then decide out of those 3 which one you like. That's the one I'm going to collect from you tonight. We're actually going to view them immediately online here. I'll show them up on the overhead. And then I'm going to take those images home with me, print them out on my Epson printer, remember? Bring it back next week, and we're going to mat those on a mat that you'll buy at Michael's between now and next Tuesday. Questions? No, don't do that now. I'll do that when I print them. Yep, I will do that when I print them. And so, yeah, don't worry about any cropping or anything. We'll have full version of your files right now. And once you're finished, I will have to collect these. Is everybody working on the Macs in here? You work on your Mac, right?
Only because I have my images on there.
No, that's fine.
I don't have Photoshop.
No, that's great. That's fine. The reason I ask is I'm going to have to collect these files from you, and I can do it two ways. The Macs in here I can collect by a Dropbox. I can fire up a Dropbox on my Mac. Trying to think. Let me try to fire up Dropbox on my machine to see if I can have you guys use that and see if that works while you're rendering. And so go ahead and render, and I'll see if I can fire up Dropbox on my Mac, and we can use that real quick. Excuse me? If you go into our weeks folder, it's right there where it says Panoramic for this week. So I don't have it up right in front of me right now, but let's see, it's week 10, Panoramic Lab, and it's number 2. You'll click on that very first link where it says Online App. Okay? You do not need to crop it to 11 by 14. Just save it right to your desktop, name it Pano last name 1, Pano last name 2, Pano last name 3. And you'll decide on which one you want. Oh, I think I do have here a website. I think I can do it this way. I'll create a Pano on Foki. I'll do that. That'll work. But it's gonna be different, I believe, for this one. I'm gonna have to change it. So don't do this step here. I will make a new folder for us on Foki. We'll do it that way. That way we can view them on Foki immediately. That's a good idea. We'll do that. So give me a second to update the instructions here on the email. So stop there after you save your files till I get the folder created on Foki, if you don't mind. Get that done. Very simple, though. I think you'll be real impressed with the quality of it and the quickness of it. And it's free. It doesn't cost anything to use. Sp13. Okay, instructions are updated. It'd be easier for you to probably read the email steps So if I have your attention real quick, you guys will get to this step here where you'll save all your images. You're going to skip the crop step. Remember, you're not doing that. You're going to save it right to your desktop. Some of you will have, Pano last name 1, Pano last name 2, Pano last name 3, .jpg. And then this step here, once you choose a final one that you like out of the 3, email it to this email address, chuconpluspano.sp13@folky.com. And remember, when you email, you cannot use RBC Eagle. You have to use your Gmail account to do this, okay, because you're emailing outside of. Let's go ahead and put in the subject line of this, because I don't have it up there. Just put in the subject line Panoramic, that's fine, or Pano, something like that. Or better yet, let's just put your last name in the subject. That way it's going to show up as your last name in the Panoramic file name. Put your last name in the subject, that's great. Once you get through submitting your email with the attached file and Pano and your last name in the subject line, if you browse out to this link, you'll have to go to our week 10 Panoramic class first to see this link, but you don't want you to have to type all that in. Just click on this link. It'll take you to the actual album, and it'll take a few seconds to load it on the website, but once it's sent there, you should be able to see it show up. And then we'll go over the black mat that I need you to get between now and next Tuesday. So I'll just kind of walk around and see how you're doing. Cool. It's pretty quick, isn't it? Yeah. Pretty impressive. Oh, okay. No, you can use that then. That's fine. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, if you didn't Photoshop, that'll work. If you get a chance, so when you get home, I would try it. You'll like it. If you haven't used it yet, it's really, yeah, you'll like it. Yeah, RBC mail, that'll work. The student mail will work. And then you'll use that email I have up there. How you doing over here? Oh, sweet. That's a good one.
Oh, is it lumpy?
Do what?
It's undulating. It's not supposed
Well,
to
that
be.
had probably has to do with the screen images. Probably has to do with the screen, and it's very small on that screen right now. We're having to make it, you're not going to see it good here in this view at all.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and do a save as. That's just a preview. And name it Pano, your last name. And then, do you have more than one, or you just
Yeah,
did this?
I
Okay.
actually have a couple, but I only have my
And I would save that to your desktop. There you go. And as soon as you see it saved, double click on it on your desktop real quick.
Is that enough?
Should have given an extension to it. Just go ahead and click on it once. Click on it twice on the name, and you ought to put in a .jpg, I think it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
I wonder if I
That's
put
not
too
bad.
many images.
Do what?
If I put too many images in it. Because it looks like it's repeating.
Well, you also have the curvature too. That's a very wide one. So that's normal to have that.
Yeah, because it's repeating.
Yeah. Just keep trying them. Just make sure when you save it the next time, it puts an extension on there. If not, you can type it in. It should put a .jpg on there, I think. How you doing over here? Hmm? Yeah, because your file name should be in a succession. You know what I'm saying? The number should be in succession. That way you know you're right. Because right there you've got.
Let's see if I can get the arm not cut off this time. That's pretty much the best I can do. But it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it did turn out pretty good. I like it.
5 reps.
Sweet. I like that.
The only thing
Huh? I like that. That's a great idea. I like that.
It looks like it's moving, but it'll be okay.
No, I think it's great.
Good.
Perfect. So yeah, save that, baby. I like that. That's a good idea.
Um,
So did you, each shot, you just basically turned the camera where you're taking it and sat down?
Yeah.
Took it?
I didn't have a tripod, so I just tried to angle it.
Yeah.
And then we just go change my clothes real quick and jump in the next shot. Just try to get all 5 of them.
That's sweet. I like that. That's a great idea. Do what now? Oh, yeah. No, you can go ahead and submit what you've done. That one you showed me that you did in Photoshop. Oh, redo it. You can do it again and just submit it to that same email again. You can put up more than one up there. That's fine. Yeah, that'll work. I'm just having them do one in here, but you can do more. You can upload more than that. Yeah. Cool. Well, when you click Save Large Image to Disk, it'll show you the whole thing, the width-wise. But it is nice to be able to use your mouse and, kind of scroll around to see what it looks like. Do what? Did you just send it? It takes a few minutes. Yeah, it takes a little bit. It's not automatic because it's got to accept. It's got to accept it on the server side. But if you send it, give it a few moments, and it should bring it up there if you send it to the right email address. Doing good. We'll look at all of them when everybody's done, so no big hurries. Mm-hmm. What now? Oh, sure. I'm sorry.
I would be putting call for
Do what now?
I didn't put the appendix code in.
Excuse me? Yeah, Folky. Uh-huh. And it's Chucon plus Pano Sp13 at Folky.com. That's the whole email address. That's the email address you want to send it to. Yeah, F. Did you type in the wrong one or something?
No, I just did Chuck. I did the last part, not the first part.
Oh, yeah. Do what now? Yeah, we're going to go into that. Yep, we are. Do what now? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to do that together. No space. Chucon plus Pano Sp13, the @ symbol, Folky.com.
Oh, okay, not the first part.
That's what I did too.
Wait,
Folky at
it's Chucon plus Pano Sp13 at Folky.com. Yeah, start with the word CH, Chucon. And they did add a new feature, that Demander. You can actually set up an account, upload your panoramics, and share them with people on Facebook and things. Real easy. Totally free, doesn't cost anything. So those of you that are waiting, you might want to play with that possibly. If you want to, you can create a free account. Doesn't take a second. And then you can upload your panoramic that you like and name it and view it. It puts it in a nice little player that kind of goes from left to right and bounces back and forth and plays it. Then you can use your mouse to zoom or to go left to right. Pretty cool. Did you get emailed? I just created a new one. Compose. Yep. Does it have a JPEG on the end? It has to have an extension on it. Looks like none of yours have extensions. That'll be a problem. So you just you can just rename it down here if it didn't put a. So just click on it once. Click on the name once. And then twice. And then put a .jpg on the end. You don't need to put the whole thing in there. It looks like it overwrote everything. You have to put the whole name. Just. Okay, good. Then hit the enter key. Enter key. Go ahead and hit add. There you go, good. Now it'll upload. Now go ahead and send that one. Compose again. Yeah, make sure you guys' pictures have a .jpg on the end of it before you email it, or it will not send. No, probably not. It probably didn't put an extension on there. You probably have to add it, possibly when you saved it, or when you went to title it, you probably got rid of the .jpg, possibly. Yeah, and then just put your last name for the subject for me, so I'll know who it is. Click open and change your subject from Pano to your last name. Yep, and then send that. Now let's go back to our class and then click on that link in our week 10 in the Panoramic. Yep, at the bottom there. There you go, click on that. Take a second to come in. How are we doing over here? Done? Did you get yours sent? Okay. And did you get yours sent yet?
I sent mine, yeah.
Did you get yours sent? How about over here? Did you guys get yours sent? Scott, get yours sent? Oh, yeah? Still working on it? Okay. Have you decided which one, or are you still looking at it? Okay. Just make sure it has a .jpeg on the end. While we're waiting, I'll go ahead and throw on the overhead. The online version does this. When you upload it, it'll basically play whatever panoramic you've uploaded and put it in a flash enabled type of file structure, and then you can take your mouse and go back and forth on that panoramic, or if you don't touch it, it'll just automatically bounce to the left and the right. And what's cool also is you can share it with, you can tweet it, Facebook it, Google. You can embed it as embed. If you click on this embed link, it'll actually give you the embed code to put into a website. So pretty good for free, right? And then they do have some other ones you can look at too that people have done. Kind of see what other folks have done as well. And it's free to set up, doesn't cost anything. The one thing that I didn't tie to my account, which you could, in the settings when you go set up, you can actually bind a Twitter and Facebook account to it as well. That way you can share it with your friends and family when you're finished. It looks like it gives you how many views have been on it too. When you create it, it tells you how many people have viewed it, so that's kind of nice. It's actually one of the better services I've ever seen for Panoramic. That's really, really nice. I think they do make money, though, if you have an iPad or iPhone. I think they might charge for those possibly, but definitely worth it. Okay, let's see what we got going here. Oh, yeah, got some stuff coming in. Let's go ahead and do a slideshow. While we're still getting people uploading here, I'm going to go ahead and start the slideshow and everybody can kind of see each other's work while we're waiting here. And I will expand this out a little bit. Put it to 10 seconds so we'll be able to see a little bit better. How many still uploading? You did? Okay. Well, I'll refresh it. Did you see it in theirs yet? It should be. Did it have a .jpg on the end? And let's make sure you send it to the right email. I'll put it back up there. Hmm? Well, you won't if you forgot the extension, it won't give you a bounce back. So I would just make sure it has a .jpg on it. Okay. Just make sure the spelling's right. What do you got left to do? And this one you just reset upstairs, or is it a different one? Can you log in with your RBC email? You can use that. Your RBC Gmail. Your RBC Gmail? RBC.
Oh, yeah.
But if you just go to Rock Valley College's homepage and click on the My RBC, just go to My RBC. No, yeah, just do My RBC and then hit enter. It's going to be the first one. And then click on the Gmail. You want the RBC mail, student mail. There, right there, RBC student mail. And you'll type in your same username and password you use for Eagle. Looks like it's over here. Go ahead and log in with your S number and password that you log in with Eagle with. Yep. Okay, now go ahead and let's go ahead and compose. And I got the email address up in front of you. You'll have to click not now. Nope, it's up on the overhead. It's ChewCon. ChewCon plus Pano Sp13 at Foki.com. ChewCon. ChUKON. Pano 13, not Pano 12. Pano 13. Pano SP13 actually. Pano SP13.
Small.
SP lowercase, yeah, 13 at Foki.com. Okay, put your name and the last name in the subject. And then click on the attach a file button right underneath there, right there, attach a file. And then browse out to your picture. You can only, yeah, you're choosing the one that you want the best, you like the best out of all of them.
Oh.
Okay, then go ahead and click send.
Like one out of all three.
Yeah, one out of all three of them.
I get three different pictures
Mhm.
and three of each picture.
Oh,
No big deal.
so that's going to take a little bit to upload. So as soon as it gets through sending it, then it'll show up on the overhead. Okay. You got yours done, right? Okay, cool. And you got yours resent?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Refresh. And then after we look at these, we're going to go into the macro, but I want to see everybody's if possible. If we can get everybody's up here at least. And then I need, while that's rendering, I need to see about loading. Who's using, you got one person, you're using your Mac, right? You're using your Mac, okay.
No.
You're using our Macs, right? Okay, cool. That's good. All right, I'm going to use AirDrop in here real quick. And I'm going to unplug the server. Give me a second. Okay, I need everybody that's done. You've already uploaded everything. You're going to turn on your Wi-Fi. You're going to turn on your Wi-Fi on your Mac. It's actually going to be on the upper right corner of your Mac. In fact, I'll do it on this one too. Hang on just a second. On the right side of your screen, you'll see it's actually to the left of the sound icon. It looks like a pizza pie, like a pizza slice. You'll click on the pizza slice and click on Turn Wi-Fi On. Turn Wi-Fi on. Okay. And then you'll click Go and then AirDrop. Go, then AirDrop. So turn Wi-Fi on, then Go, then AirDrop. And you'll see some stuff start showing up on your screen. But Wi-Fi has to be turned on first, and then secondly, Go menu, AirDrop. And the Wi-Fi, by the way, is going to be over here where my mouse is pointing to on the overhead, right here. Yours is off, probably you have to turn it on. Then you got to go to the Go menu, click on AirDrop. Looks like some people are doing it. I'm seeing you on the screen. Okay. I should get, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 when I'm done. I've got 6 right now. And one of them actually is instructor station. Turn that one off. Okay. Excuse me? No, that's fine. No, that's fine. You can do what we're doing here, though. You can go and get connected to the AirDrop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you should see me on your AirDrop, the dog. If you don't see me, let me know so I can come by and help you. Okay? You're not going to connect any Wi-Fi at all. You're just going to turn it on. That's all you're going to do.
Oh, so
You're
the
just
little
on.
lights-
Just turn it on. That's all you do. That's all you do. You don't
So
connect
the
any.
lights-
You're connecting to me.
Oh.
Nope. You're just connecting to me.
Okay.
You're not connecting to the internet or anything with it. So minimize everything on your screen. Do you see the Go menu? Click on the Go menu. And then go to AirDrop. AirDrop. And then just let it sit there. Expand your screen out. There you go. You see me in there? I'm the dog. See that? Other people can see your Mac as PC 18981 when their computer's nearby. Okay? So, here's how it works. Basically what you'll do is you'll take this screen and move it around to where you can see the desktop of your Mac, and you're going to take that image, that Pano image, you're going to drag it into AirDrop area. It'll actually drag into mine. I could click one of your guys's and do it, but you're going to drag it into mine. I'm going to hit cancel there. So everybody needs to drag your picture into mine. So if I drag mine into this person here, there you go. I'm going to save it. Saving it. So it's popping up everywhere. Saving it. Thank you. Saving it. Pretty cool, right? AirDrop. So drag it right onto the dog here, my face, and then it'll prompt like this here. June. There you go. June Pano 2. Wits3.jpg. Wits2.jpg. Wits1.jpg. It's going to town there. And I will give you all the names here that I've just got here, because I didn't do it one by one to show you. This is Panoramic3.jpg.
Yeah.
And it should all go into my download folder here. But yeah, you can use what I've just used on a Mac without having Wi-Fi. You don't have to be connected to the internet. You can do what I just did, called AirDrop. Okay, and I'm going to see what I got so far. I've got Panoramic 3, Panorama, Pano Fern 2, Wits 3, 1 and 2, June Pano 2, Phelps Pano 2, and Virgilio Pano 2, Pano? Yeah, Virgilio Pano. So do I have everybody's? Anybody's I don't have? Okay, that was pretty simple, right? And that's called AirDrop, by the way. And it comes built in the new Mac OS. And all you have to do, just to recap what we did, is if I go in here and go away from AirDrop, all I have to do is go anywhere outside of AirDrop. So click here, away from AirDrop. Well, let's go somewhere else here. I'll go to right there. Now you should see my dog face go away. Once I click away, I'm away from it. See that? Now watch, keep it where you're at. I'm gonna go back to AirDrop now, and now things start popping up again. See that? So it's you have to keep the AirDrops. You can start the AirDrop, and then other people can connect to you, and then you guys can also, whoever starts it first is the one that actually is the one at the bottom here, like mine. But now, does yours guys show at the bottom? It should. Does it show your PC number at the bottom? Is that right? And then everybody else at the top? Okay. So you guys are all named PC, whatever. But the trick with AirDrop is when you start AirDrop, you just make sure to keep the window open, because if you go away from it, I drop from your screen. You can't drop onto my screen until I'm actually in the AirDrop area. Then things start coming into play now. I can see you, and then I can take files from anywhere on my computer and drag them onto your computer, send it, whoever that was. Who did I send it to? Was it you? Go and accept it. Whoever I sent it to, go and accept it. There you go. Now you've got that file, and it goes into, by the way, by default, it goes into the download folders of your Mac. And in the download folder is where all the files go from AirDrop initially. Okay? So you can do that. You don't have to have an internet connection to do what I just showed you if you have two Macs available using AirDrop. Wi-Fi has to be turned on, go menu, AirDrop. So we'll use that from now on, collecting files, as it's a lot easier to use. Yes?
With the Wi-Fi, so it's just within radius of the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it's in with the radius of the Wi-Fi. So it's actually using the Mac's Wi-Fi to do the AirDrop. It does not use Ethernet, it uses just Wi-Fi only. So you don't have to be connected to Ethernet to use it. So nice, right? Okay, so I've got everybody's files. Let me see file size here, what we're looking at real quick.
Mine is pretty big.
No, that's fine. I want it to be. No, that's not bad. That's pretty good, actually. Not bad at all. All right, cool. I'm going to go ahead and then just click away from that AirDrop, and then everybody else will be dropped out of the AirDrop. We're good there.
The one I sent you through AirDrop, I
Mhm.
switched to Photoshop, and the one I emailed you, I switched to the free service because I didn't know if that.
Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine. Whichever. That's fine by me. That's okay. So let me see here. Let me refresh this screen real quick. All right, I think there was one maybe we did not see in here. And Scott, did yours finish up yet?
No, it's stuck. Isn't it?
Do I know?
It's stuck in the same spot. It's not downloaded.
How far along is it?
For the meter, maybe 25%.
Shouldn't take that long.
Yeah. 616.
No, it shouldn't take that. Go and cancel it. Just redo it again. Attach file. Yeah. Then click send. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, what was taking so long? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some of these real quick. This one right here, how'd you do this one? I want to stop on that one for a second. Okay, let's blow this one up a little bit. Okay, how'd you do this one? We all want to know. Uh-huh.
I just did 5 different pictures. I didn't have a tripod, so I tried to do it.
You set it on a table?
Yeah, on the table, just to get it level and try to slightly move it without moving the camera too much.
And you do an auto timer or something on it?
It was just, I would take the first shot. I took a couple of them, like 3. You know, 3 at a time to make sure I got a good shot out of these like in one setting.
But no, I'm asking on the camera itself. On the camera itself, but how do you, there's an auto timer for the camera?
Oh yeah,
Like what, 10 seconds, 3 seconds?
about 10 seconds.
Okay. And so you went and changed, put yourself in that spot, pointed the camera towards that area, and then waited for it to go off.
That's what we got, yeah.
All right. Pretty cool, right? Pretty good idea. I like that. All right. So let's go to the next one here. Who took this one? So I don't have the slide picture in front of me. Okay. And this is in your neighborhood? And how many pictures was this one? 4? Okay. And it looks like it was near sunset maybe? Is that right? And it looks like a different angle. I like the angle for sure. And you know, really see the length of the street and the sunset at the end. So great panoramic. Good job. Okay, next one. Who took Phelps? All right, Phelps. Where'd you take this at? Where now? I'm sorry. Levens Lake. Okay. And how many photos? How many shots did you have to take? 4 shots. Okay, cool. And what time of day? You remember?
4 o'clock, sun was hitting treetops.
Mm-hmm.
It was sunny on the east side and pretty dark on the other side.
Yeah, it's got good depth. I like it because it has the. It's got good depth over here from the right to the left. I like that. You can see some depth to it. So, good job. Next, whose is this? Okay, and where was this taken at? Inside the Coronado. And how many pictures do you have to take for this one?
7.
How many? 7. Okay, and looks really good. You can actually even see the curvature of it, of the Coronado, and especially when you get into the ceiling here, really good. And in fact, when you get the wider the panoramics you get, you can actually, especially outdoors, you see this a lot. You can actually see the curvature of the earth in the actual panoramic. You can actually see a slight curvature the wider the image is. So, good shot. Excellent. Good job. Everybody so far, excellent. Okay, with this one?
I think that was 4. One of them was, that one was either 4 or 5.
And is this outdoors? This is outside?
This is like half
Okay, I gotcha. And were you across the street?
Yeah.
Okay,
Across the street in the parking garage.
in a parking garage, I gotcha. Good, excellent.
I was trying to get some foreground.
Yeah.
Not much foreground.
No, the ledges definitely bring in some depth to it, some dimension to it. Really though, besides just the ledges here, this pole here brings a little bit in to, as far as depth, and then this here, what do they call it? What was that? The marquee. Thank you. The marquee adds some depth to it as well. So, good job, excellent. And this one here is a different angle, maybe. Yeah, a little different angle. In fact, yeah, you see this one. This one you actually see a little bit more depth in it maybe than the other one as far as, and I like this curvature here it's showing. So, and these bars actually bring some depth into it as well, having these bars here show up. So, good job. And this photo. Okay, where'd you take this at? A friend's house? Okay. And how many photos? 5. And did you use a tripod on this one? Okay. And you guys can use without tripod on this for sure. Well, it looks like it has 2 driveways to it, right? Or this is a street, right? This is a street, this is a driveway? Okay, cool. It's got good depth with I like the curvature here of the road coming this way. And having this, well, first glance, it almost looks like two roads until you realize there's a house up in here. And so, but no, it's got good depth to it. Good job. Excellent. And this one.
That was the second shot. You saw the first one?
Yeah, I saw the first one.
I
Mhm.
did that in the morning. This one, I was going back that way in the evening and I saw the smoke and I said, oh, I'm gonna get that.
Mm-hmm.
This is about a half a mile south of Winnebago Corner.
Okay. Good job. Excellent. And how many photos did you take on this? How many pictures? 7. Okay. Talked about that one. Good job. Talked about that one. Okay. Great. Well, good job on all of these. And let me see if yours finally went, Scott. Did yours fail, you said?
No, either way.
Oh, sweet. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at it. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Let's.
What's that?
Okay. How many photos, Scott? And this is a new courthouse, right? Yeah, good. Let's see here. Light post on the left here, light post in the middle. This one here serves a little of the flag. Definitely good width, and the angle looks like you took a little bit of an angle, possibly, not directly in front of the building, so that gives a little bit of depth to it, more than it would have probably. Good job. Excellent. Looks good. All right, now let's switch gears. Excellent on Panoramic. I got everybody's images. I will print those out, bring them next week. What I need you guys to do is here on the end here where it says bring an 11 by 14 black mat board. Let me see if this link works this week. This black mat board is going to be pre-cut, and it says here's a quick way to add pop to your photograph or artwork. And basically, the 11 by 14 is what it's going to be actually on the outside 11 by 14. The internal panel, I think, turns out to be something like 8 by 10 or something. Is that right? Is that 8 by 10? Is that right? Yeah. And so if you want to hold that up again, that'd be great. So that's what it looks like. She's got one in her hand, so she might not mind you guys looking at that before you leave. And were they still at the $5 price range? What were they?
We were like 10 something.
Really?
We had the coupon. And we like this coupon that was on the prices.
And where'd you get the coupon at?
Online.
Online, okay.
We get the coupon.
Okay, so go to Michael's website for the coupon. Thank you for mentioning that. And so you can get the cost off on that. And so bring that next Tuesday, 11 by 14. Questions on that? Yes?
Were we supposed to crop before we sent it to you?
Nope, I'm going to do that myself.
You're gonna do it, okay.
Yep, I'm going to do it myself. So make sure I have everything to work with. I'll do it myself, so that'll work. And so that's what we'll do next week. First class is we'll come in and we'll do the matting to the, I'll bring my 3M spray glue. They'll already be cut. The papers will be cut and printed out. And then you guys will mat them to your mat board with the 3M glue, and then take them home and be able to mount them on the wall, and it'll be yours. And then, yes? I am. Yeah, I'm going to shrink it down as much as I can to fit as much as I can in that 8 by 10 window. Yeah, I will. I will try to put as much as I can in that 8 by 10 window for you. And I think I already mentioned too, you can use services like Foki to order, glossy poster size. And I think they're around $20 or something like that for a Panoramic, because you get a normal poster size to your house in about 3 days. And the last time I bought it was like $20 or something. And so you can create your own Foki account and do it there and upload the picture and order it from there. Doesn't cost. I think the Foki accounts are free right now to set up, so it doesn't cost anything. So you can use that if you want to. But great job on Panoramic. Hope you had fun with it, and keep learning it. Bookmark that website. You'll want that even after the class at dermander.com. Great Panoramic rendering, I think. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about macro close-up shots and then go over your take-home. Voice threads are starting to charge now, so probably won't be any more voice threads. They'll be in the discussion. They'll be in each week, but I'm probably not going to put any more in there because they started charging now for some reason. So teachers aren't going to use it. They're going to charge. I can pay like $100 a year for 50 students or something. I'm not going to do that. So even though it was pretty cool, I don't know why they decided to do it mid-semester, but a lot of people complaining about it, as you can probably imagine. But anyway, we're going to go and discuss a macro close-up and what that's all about. We'll look at some examples. Last, I want to talk about this PDF first. And all of your cameras have a macro setting on it. It looks like a flower on the camera. It looks like a flower icon on the camera. Best way to explain it. Some of them look a little different, but let's go ahead and open this up real quick to look at the notes for the macro. Okay, so macro photography allows you to take close-up shots of anything, like a bug, a water drop, a flake of snow, just to name a few things, okay? It's amazing to look at them up close. We'll look at some examples here in a second of like an insect or a flower or any other object up close. Like I have a lens for my iPhone that's a macro lens that'll basically, you can see the date in a quarter. You can see like the crevices of the date in a quarter up close with a macro lens. And your cameras all have macro photography capabilities, some better than others, and they do have such things as called a macro lens, and they do cost, they're pretty pricey for cameras, for DSLR cameras, but you don't need that. I think I mentioned also in macro photography, you can also use your, you've got your different settings that we've went over. We went over ISO setting, went over your f-stops, and you basically are going to use f-stop. You could use f-stops basically to play with your macro setting. And we're going to talk about different ways to play with it if you don't have a macro setting, which most of your cameras are going to have. But we'll talk about some different ways to use it, different ways to get the effect anyway. So how do you do a macro? Like any other photo you take, it's simplify it. You fill your photo with the subject, focus in. This is real important on a macro. Unlike landscape, and we're getting ready to go over portrait here in a bit. And while I'm on portrait, I think it's 2 weeks from tonight when you guys do your portrait studio, if I'm not mistaken. Just a reminder, remember you get to invite people to that. Because next week we're doing the lighting lab, the week after portrait. So make sure to invite some folks to that. But unlike portrait, unlike landscape, remember we talked last week about white space in pictures, how important that is. In macro, not so important. You want to fill up that lens. You want to fill up that space with your object. Sharp focus, try shooting from different angles, like, instead of, maybe get right on top of it sometimes, usually for macros. If you look deep, looking for deep saturation of colors, use front lighting. If you're looking to bring out texture of the subject, side lighting. And they do have macro boxes that you can buy at Walmart that I'll bring next week actually to show you. They're called black box, a light box that you can take small objects and put it in this light box and shine light on both sides to give it good lighting. So due to the narrow depth of field, the background will usually be thrown completely out of focus, which allows a natural background to have a nice backdrop. Make sure you don't have anything distracting in the backdrop that's recognizable, like branches, cigarette butts, stuff like that. You want that out of the way. So here's some examples of some macros. Close-up shot of some pencils, of some insects here, and flower. So Lightbox, that's the one we're going to be using next week. Lightbox is for items like you sell on eBay. You want to sell a small piece of jewelry. You want to highlight for a science project an insect, or you're doing some research for insects, and then maybe small objects, anything small like little collectible toys, like maybe you want to do a close-up of some old Matchbox card or something. You want to do close-ups of that. A macro light box works really well for that. This is what it looks like. This is a homemade one. You basically could take a box, any box, cut a hole in 3 sides, like a square hole in 3 sides, and then you can take just white piece of paper. It can be printer paper you can use, or you can go to Walmart and get the big wide paper, go to Michael's, get the big wide paper, and you basically put the paper over the holes, and then you take a big piece of paper and droop it down inside the box, and then what's on the over here on the left and on the right and on top, you can actually take light and push it through. So you can do like a spotlight, a lamp, something like that. Even a flashlight works. But this PDF's in our week's assignment. There's a link on how to build your own if you want to. You can do that. Or you can go to Walmart and buy one for about $25, $30. And it comes with 2 lights. It comes with a mini tripod for your camera. And then it comes with, it falls up really nice and flat to carry in a carrying case. And it comes, when you unfold it, it has these 3 white edges, and then a blue draped cloth that drapes down, and then you just manipulate these lights where you want it to show the object. Works really well. So tips on a macro light box, you put the camera in a macro mode, you turn it on, experiment with moving the lights around, and take it from multiple angles. Let's look at some more examples here. This is examples of 35 examples of stunning macro photography, and goes over about the different types of photography, close-up photography, just different wording photography. And it talks about nifty equipment you can get, which you don't have to get to take good macro photography. So we'll just look at some just inspirational stuff, okay? Just go through these real quick. Now, I had a student last semester that had some, forgot the characters was, but they're fairly old, but he did like a close-up of them with his macro assignment, which was kind of cool. And it was, like Matchbox cars and a couple G.I. Joes or something like that. Just kind of placed them on a table. This one actually is placed on a top of a hood of a car. You can see the door here and the windshield. So kind of cool.
They're called homes.
Do what now?
They're called homes.
What is it? Homeless?
Homies.
Homies, thank you. If I read it, it says right here, right? Homies on the hood. Thank you. But no, you can take close-up of those, of any type of trinket, small trinket. This is called deflated, just a flat soccer ball. But you'll notice the angle's pretty much down right onto the sidewalk here to get that angle. These are kind of I like, where it really kind of shows the power of the macro. This is a reflection of a flower in a water drop. That's pretty crazy, right? That's not something you get every day, by the way, but that's kind of cool. And I do like to say, when I take macro photography, I do like to take macro photography in the early morning because you got the dew, especially coming up here, hopefully before too long in spring. You got the dew coming up and everything's a little wet and things are glistening from that wetness hitting the grass and everything. You see some really cool shots. This is an eye of a gecko. Pretty cool, right? Eyelash, close up. This is water dancing on a lily. An insect, close up. Another insect. Winter blues. Ooh, close up on somebody's skin. Bug. This is kind of cool. Checker table with a spoon on top of the table and taking a macro of that reflection that's on the spoon. Boring paper, right? Pretty cool. Snail. It's called treble clef. Butterfly. Close up butterfly. Ant. A gecko. Or no, it's a fairy tale forest. Snail. This is an old shoes, old Vans sneakers. Taking a close-up macro of the sneakers. Spider. Curved. Pouring out macro. Kind of looks moving, like the fluid's moving. You can do that as well. Close-up of a guitar pick on a guitar string. Water drop and the ripples of the water drop. Flower. Close-up of, looks like bungee cords, possibly. Drops of water, called hover. Rose. Spider with egg case. A red-eye tree frog. Hoverfly. Pseudo scorpion. Flower. Close-up of a rusty chain. Have that in the backyard, maybe. Pretty cool, though. You'll notice how it's blurred out here, focused in on here. And when you set your cameras on a macro mode, it'll do that automatically. And what you do, the trick is you get your camera as close as you can, your actual lens, physically as close as you can, to the object in the macro mode lens or macro mode of your camera, and then you back out ever so slightly and press that button halfway down to get this type of effect. But you want that lens as close as you can. Like the one I took at the quarter, my lens was literally almost right on the quarter to get it really close. Grass drops, water drops on the grass leaf. It's pretty mean there, right? It's probably very tiny. Close-up of a cat. Another one. Reflection there. Now this one has, these are marbles laid on top of white sand, and the marbles actually have in the marble a reflection of the earth, or pictures of the earth on the marble. So, pretty inspirational, right? Macro photography. Now, if you'll get your cameras out real quick, I want to make sure you know where macro setting is on your camera. And again, it's going to look like a flower for most of your cameras, and then I want to talk about your take home before we're done, what you're going to be doing the next week in macro. Okay. It's actually going to be right outside of your dial. Let me turn the light on for you so you can see better. Okay, you know where your macro is on yours?
Yeah.
You got it? Okay. You know where it is on yours? Yep, you are correct. And you got the macro mode on yours? Sweet. Macro mode? Yep, that's it. Cool. Scott, you know where it is on yours? All right. How about you guys? You got it? Macro mode? Okay, so you know where it's at. I want to talk about a few more terms before we're done and then give you a take home. So for the macro assignment, the whole idea of macro is giving you more depth of field. And basically the word depth of field is the area between the nearest and farthest point from the camera that is acceptably sharp at on an image. Okay? The term refers to how shallow or deep this area is within an image itself. So deeper depth of field means more areas in focus and the foreground is softened. Shallow depth of field means less area in focus, causing the main subject to stand out. So the shallow depth of field means that the more of the background area is going to be less in focus, kind of blurred, and then the foreground area is going to stand out. The main subject will stand out. And that's generally what you're going to kind of reach for, is more of the shallower depth of field. So aperture, smaller aperture openings like larger numbers, extend the zone of a sharp focus. And so when you guys set your cameras on a macro mode, it's actually going to overtake your aperture mode for you. You can actually try this as well in aperture mode as well to play around with it. So you can do macro and aperture both if you want while you're playing with it. Macro will probably do a better job, but you can play with it in aperture mode as well. And so anyway, with aperture opening being a smaller opening, larger number, it's going to extend the zone of focus, while large openings, smaller numbers restrict the sharp focus to a shallow area. The smaller the opening of the aperture, the higher f-stop, the more the focus of the entire image becomes, even the background. And so the low f-stop, like f22, small amount of light, slow shutter speeds, lets light in for longer periods of time. That's why when we saw earlier the water being, or that liquid being poured, how you could actually see the movement, kind of a flow, because it's a slower shutter speed in that macro mode it's going to give you. And what it's going to do basically is sharpen the background, reduce blur in the foreground with a smaller opening, or in using macro mode it does it for you. Digital zoom. In digital zoom, that's part of your camera basically that goes beyond your physical zoom. All of your cameras have a physical zoom and then a digital zoom. The physical zoom is, say you have a 4 zoom camera, we'll say, or a 3 zoom camera. You can literally go zoom 3 times of where you're at right now, and then what goes beyond that, it's going to go into digital zoom. You want to stay away from digital zoom and stick with the focal lens zoom only, the physical lens only. And so the camera lens, or the digital zoom will also, if you use it, it will usually pixelate the images. So I try to tell students to stay away from digital zoom as much as possible. And so all you need to know about digital zoom is to pretty much stay away from digital zoom and stick with your physical zoom, especially when you're talking about macro photography. All right? Stick with the physical zoom only. And most of your cameras will actually have a line when you're zooming in. You'll get to a certain point on your camera, it'll stop, you'll see a line, it'll tell you going into digital zoom. You're passing physical, going into digital. So this is what you're going to do for your take home. You're going to shoot 5 images with 3 depths of field, so you're going to have 15 images in total. So 5 images, each one of those images you're going to shoot at 3 different depths of field. So with those 3 depths of field, the first one's going to be a close-up, as close as you can get with your camera as possible, using macro, okay, on all these, without the zoom. Second one is a close-up using your zoom lens, but don't use your digital zoom, use a physical zoom, and get as close as you can to that subject as possible. Third one is a middle ground, somewhere in between where you want, where you might have some blur in the foreground and the background. Okay, so this one, the last one, is actually the little bit. You'll have to back up a little bit to where your foreground's blurred out, and you'll start seeing the edges of your foreground blurred out too a little bit, but the object's still going to be in focus. So say you're taking a picture of a flower outside. That one flower, you're going to do all 3 of these. You're going to do, take your camera, put it in macro lens, go as close as you can to that flower with your camera. Do not use zoom at all, and take a picture in a macro lens, in a macro setting. Second, you're going to use your zoom. You might not even move your camera. You're just going to use your zoom and zoom in as close as you can. Just don't go into the digital part, okay? Now, in this one, make sure you have fairly good light, so early morning's usually good, or right at sunset. You also want to make sure on this one that you have a fairly clear background. You don't want a whole bunch of junk in the background. So like I said earlier in one of the things we read, you don't want twigs, cigarette butts, stuff like that in there. Just kind of clear it out if there is. It'll help in the focus part. Because if you have kind of a cluttered background, your zoom sometimes doesn't know what to do. All right? So it'll help you in the zooming part. So you're going to use your zoom in as close as you can to where you can still see the object. And you will start seeing some blur, by the way, probably in the background on this one. But the foreground will be totally clear. The last one is you'll want to go ahead and back your camera up a little bit. You're going in this one to go ahead and use your zoom, but you're backing your camera up a little bit to where you can basically get a blurred background and a blurred foreground a little bit, both. The only thing that's going to be in focus on this one is the actual flower. Everything around it, outside of it, will become blurred a little bit by this one. And it's a little tricky. You have to back the camera up a little bit, and you're going to use your zoom on it, on this one, but you're going to try to blur the background for sure, and the foreground a little bit, okay? You're still going to see the object. It'll be kind of blurry on the edges of it, though, okay? And that's just a flower example. So that would be one image. So you'd already have 3 shots in that one image. And then you got, basically, you're going to do this, shoot 5 images with these 3 depths of fields. So it's going to be 15 pictures when you're done, all right? Once you're through taking these photos, we go back to the Dropbox. You're going to upload the 15 images to week 10 on your photo site. As always, paste it below. Put your name in the title, paste it below. And then next week when we come to class on Tuesday, immediately we're going to do the panoramic mounting to your board. Right after that, we will look at everybody's macro that you did this week. And then, let me make sure here. I think we're going to be doing a critique on that one. Let me make sure here. No, I'm not going to do one on that one. I took that one out. So we're just going to look at the photos next week. After we do the panoramic, we'll look at everybody's photos and kind of ask you where you took it at, what your best one was that you liked, and that'll be it for that one. Okay? Any questions? Okay? Well, see everybody next week. If you have any questions, come up and see me. Otherwise, good job tonight, and great panoramics, by the way. Good job.